Okay, after trying to figure out multiple ways to patch these holes in the front of the bus, the last method I decided to use was the soldering method, which I probably thought would be the least successful, but in reality it was the most successful. So here's what it ended up looking like after I sanded this thing down. So I am pretty happy with that. That is like super flush. So I'm kind of thrilled with that. Push on it, it's pretty solid. So that's pretty good. And I'm gonna try it on this one here and I'll show you how I did it. It's closer. Light here, see this? So I have some rosin core solder and decent size gauge here of it. Looks like it is 4060. And what I'm going to do is use this little torch that I've had for a while now. Almost looks like a little cooking torch you'd use for browning things. But I'm going to turn on the flame very low. If you can kind of see that flame or not. Let's see here. But I'm going to turn it really, really low. Okay. And then basically I'm just going to heat up the metal slightly around here. You kind of see the color change right away. I'm just going to start applying the solder and just sort of get a light coat of solder on the around the edge of the fill hole here. Okay, just like that. You can see that well enough, hopefully. And then we're just going to kind of keep going and just sort of filling up spots around the edge. Have this flame on really low. Get pretty tricky because as you're applying the solder, it's melting on the rod and it's getting shorter, and so you're constantly having to kind of push in while this is working. It'll be pretty challenging. And then you'll notice I'm kind of constantly going back and forth with it, because if you stay on it too long, the whole blob will just melt and fall right off, which happened once before. So I'm just going to kind of keep working it here. You can kind of see how that hole's slowly filling up. Cool it off a little bit, I'm just blowing on it. You kind of see a little color change there when it cools off. And just gonna fill that center hole now. Turn my flame just a hair. Okay, and that's about it. So I'm gonna turn my flame off now. Just let that cool for a second or two. And then I'm gonna take an 80 grit sanding disc on my grinder. And I'm gonna do some grinding on there and get it flush with this like I did on the other one. And I should be good to go. So, like I said, I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. Oops. That's the flux, I believe, in there. Pretty cool now. So I'll give it a shot here. You want to keep an eye on your sanding disc too, because it builds up really fast with solder. It kind of sticks to the sanding disc really quick. So I have some spare ones on hand. build. Okay, really happy about that. Freaking fantastic. We've got a little bit of a rise there. Could probably go a little bit lower on that. And we got to get a new disc because you can see that the sanding disc is totally gummed up. So I got a whole bag of them here. Like I said, I'm just using 80 grit. 80 grit. Screw it onto the end of the little grinding wheel there. Like that. And just there you go. All right, fantastic. Okay, massive amount of success today filling these holes with solder. That is totally the right way to do it, in my opinion. And if I just run my hand across them, they are like nice and flat, strong. I'm pushing on them, nothing's going through. Same with this one. Easily be able to kind of take up the rest with light coat of filler on top. That's going to be about it. So yeah, and I also did these two down here where somebody had tried to mount a license plate. Drove right into the body. Anyway, yeah, so far so good. Pretty darn happy with that.